Right, so everybody grab your British napkins because it's time to spill some tea in another Am I the A-hole video. And this one is Toxic Friends edition. So let's just jump straight into it. Alright, first up, am I the a-hole for abandoning a grieving friend after she tried to charge me rent? Brutal start. So my friend is a recent widow. It's been a long time coming, but that hardly makes it easier. Her husband passed away at the end of February and she's been understandably distraught since. I'm sorry for her loss. I've tried my best to support her throughout this, even though I can't possibly understand what she's going through. At the beginning of March, she asked me if I'd stay over during the night because she couldn't stand sleeping alone in an empty house. I obliged and temporarily moved in once I was sure my husband was okay with it. She's not been taking care of herself, so I've been doing 100% of the household chores and taking care of her and all her responsibilities, as well as working full time. That is a lot of responsibility, although to be fair, I'd do that for my friends too if they were in this position, and I'm sure most people would. Well, last week she sprung on me how much she'll be expecting in rent from here on out. She heavily implied that I was taking advantage of her in her grief, trying to live in her house for free, and that she expects me to back pay her rent for the 2 months I'd already been there. I was literally going to say, at least she's going, oh, I expect it from here on out, and isn't back paying. She is going to back pay, or expect to be back paid for it, with what I'm assuming is absolutely no discussion that this was going to take place. And whilst this person is doing all of the household chores, like she's living there not for free rent, she's living there as a favor. I was extremely insulted by this, as you should be, and told her I'd transfer her the money she wanted, but I'd be moving back to my own house where I'm also paying rent. Yeah, it's not like she's using this situation as like a free ride. She has her own home to live in with her husband in it. I got my stuff and was out within a couple of hours. She's since asked me to come back, but I refused. I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits, but I'm not spending another night in that house. I mean, if she had brought it up and been like, look, my husband was paying for half the rent, I didn't get life insurance money or anything, I'm now stuck with the other half, don't know if I can cover it, could you help me out? I'd be a bit more understanding, but just springing on her being like, you know, I asked you to move in and you've been helping me loads whilst I've been grieving. I want you to pay for half the rent whilst you're also paying rent in your own home. That's ridiculous. Am I the a-hole? No, I don't think so at all. What do the comments say? Not the a-hole. You didn't want to pay rent, so you went back to your own house. I think she's a bit of an asshole, asking you to come and stay with her and then asking you to pay money. I think you've set some healthy boundaries to avoid this situation occurring again. OP, did you actually pay this rent? If not, don't. If you did, what and why? I did. I don't know why. It was just easier. I can kind of understand that, especially if they're your friend. 2 months rent though. Nothing to laugh about. That was probably a sizable chunk. Not the a-hole. WTF. Taking advantage. You already have a place. What did you get out of it? I thought I was being a good friend. You were. Not the a-hole, but you need to stand up for yourself more. You should not have paid her or offered to keep doing things for her. You should have explained why her request was inappropriate and left, leaving the ball in her court to continue your relationship with more appropriate boundaries. This reads like you're still learning how to not get completely walked over. I agree. I hate upsetting people, but stuff like this keeps happening to me, so I need to do something about it. Yes, you do. Although again, I mean, this is like Reddit looking at the situation. I think when you're in their shoes and you're like, this is my friend, they are grieving, offering to keep doing things for her, I'd probably do that, even if I felt like they were taking the piss with the rent money a little bit. So yeah, continuing to help the grieving friend, I don't mind, but definitely would have words about paying the rent. And also I'd be like, look, I understand your situation and that things are tough for you, but implying that I was taking advantage of you in your grief whilst I'm living in your house helping you out after you asked me to, I'd be like, come on now. I feel like you should apologize for that. That is not fair at all. But yeah, very clearly not the a-hole to me, which means it's 1-0 to the not the a-holes. As always, we're going to be keeping score. Let me know what you guys think of each scenario and your final score at the end in the comments down below. All right, next up, am I the a-hole for wearing the joke bikini my friend got me? Joke bikini? Is that one of those ones that you wear and it dissolves in water and you go into the sea fully clothed, come out of it butt squeaky ass naked? Let's find out. So it was my birthday a couple of months ago. Had a party, got some gifts. My friend Mandy got me a super cute bikini. I liked it, said thanks. She had ripped off the tags, but whatever. Wait, starting to think it might be the dissolving one. Anyway, we went to the community pool with my roommate. I wore the bikini and got into the water, and my roommate immediately is like, girl? I look and see that this bikini is now kind of see-through. Oh my goodness, I think it is. Haha, good joke, Mandy. Oh, okay, maybe it's just that it's kind of see-through rather than one that completely dissolves and doesn't get you butt naked because something else happened later. And that's the end of the community pool segment. So anyway, Mandy invited me over to her place to hang out with her and her boyfriend and a few others. Most leave and we're still hanging out. And I'm like, hey, what if we get in your hot tub? Again, I know where this is going. I go change after them and meet her boyfriend in the hot tub while she's getting new drinks. I hop in and immediately he's looking at my chest. I pretend I don't notice and just make small talk. She comes out a few minutes after and just looks in shock. Eventually gets in. Is that the one I bought? Yeah, I love it. I wear it everywhere. I make up some stuff about how I wore it to the beach, some parties with a lot of guys, etc. And she's just like, oh. We're in the tub for like 20 to 30 minutes. We eventually get out and change, and she approaches me after and is like, I'm sorry, I thought you'd notice, but it goes kind of see-through. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Why'd you buy me a fucking see-through bathing suit? She's like, it's a joke. Wait, you knew? So you just spent the last 30 minutes flashing my boyfriend on purpose? I reply, I'm just wearing my birthday gift from her. Anyway, am I the a-hole? That is spectacular. That's like a pro-revenge am I the a-hole crossover. That's class. She pulled a sly one, tried to embarrass you. Instead, her boyfriend is oogling your boobies. Oh, that's hilarious. That's actually just, this is the best comeback ever. Anyway, what do the comments say? Not the a-hole. She knew what kind of gift she was giving you. You were just getting her back in a harmless way. No one's gonna die from seeing boobs. Thank goodness. Now you can all have a laugh about it. Yeah, something tells me Mandy isn't going to be laughing. Not the a-hole. She pranked you, you pranked her. Ooh, everyone sucks here. Her for buying you see-through clothing and you for basically getting naked in front of her and her boyfriend. I mean, I agree with the take that Mandy sucks. Like, she was wearing that bikini at a community pool. Like, nudity in front of strangers is so embarrassing and could potentially land you in some trouble. But I don't really think OP sucks by getting her own back by getting essentially a little bit topless in front of her and her boyfriend. That's just karma. That's just what goes around comes around. You'd think if her friend bought her a see-through bikini top, she'd be more comfortable with casual nudity. Exactly. Personally, my friends and I go topless in hot tubs all the time. Our boyfriends are pretty desensitized by now, or smart enough to pretend to be. Either way, if her friend's boyfriend couldn't keep his shit together to such a degree that it pissed off her friend, that's on him, not OP. But the intention was to humiliate OP, not have her boyfriend gawking at OP. It backfired and it serves her right, to be honest. Oh, it really is mixed though. First same response I've seen. Can't believe how many NTAs I'm seeing. This thread is a good example of how this sub operates outside of accepted social norms. The gag gift was a dick move, and the response in front of the friend's boyfriend was also a dick move. Everyone sucks here. I mean, the response in front of the friend's boyfriend, if it stood alone, is a dick move, I agree. But it wasn't. It was retaliation, and I think it was proportionate. And like the person before said, no one's gonna die looking at a pair of boobs. I haven't got boobs yet, but from my limited experience, they're pretty harmless. I guess people's responses to this one will largely depend on how they view nudity. OP, this is fantastic. I won't give a judgment. I'm leaning fairly heavily towards no assholes here, but a part of me does feel like everyone sucks because you did purposefully do something that you know would bother your friend. She absolutely deserves it though, and you simply outplayed her. She was playing checkers whilst you were playing cheese. Well done. The insult on chess. I was kind of agreeing with that comment up until then. That's a disgrace. I mean, I definitely don't think the acts are even. Like, Mandy did it completely unprovoked. OP did it in response to the provocation. And Mandy got OP to get naked against her will in front of strangers, which is way worse than OP getting herself kind of naked in front of close friends. And although one of the friends being the friend's boyfriend does make it slightly more inappropriate, it's just nowhere near as bad as what Mandy did, in my opinion at least. I personally think in this private setting between friends, a bit of toplessness, not that big of a deal. But I can understand why some people might just be like, that is incredibly private and inappropriate. I mean, I might not agree, but I can understand it. So yeah, I'm going to go not the a-hole here, but I think this one will be one of the more controversial ones in this video. So that's 2-0 to the not the a-holes for me, but let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. All right, next up. Am I the a-hole for blowing up at my friend who constantly makes comments about my boobs? Wow, so much boob content today. And you know what? If that doesn't compel you to subscribe, nothing will. If you're enjoying this content, please do consider taking a second to hit that button down below. It's free, it only takes a second, and it means I don't even know what to say here. There might be more boob content in future. Okay, no, I do actually promise that these videos are more mature than this usually. But either way, if you're enjoying the content, please do hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, back to the boob story, which sounds like it actually could be sad and inappropriate. Let's find out. So I have big boobs. Not a sentence I ever thought I'd say. I'm currently at 52 kilograms and there's nothing I can do to change the size of these things unless I have surgery. I'm also extremely shy and from a very conservative family, so my resentment and shame towards my bust is an ongoing issue. That is sad. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. So my friend Sarah is one of those unfiltered free thinkers who says whatever's on her mind. Right, so just one of those twats that uses, oh, I'm a free thinker, I just say what's on my mind, to get away with being a dick. There are actually few types of people that piss me off more than this. She's also slim and her chest is very much in proportion to the rest of her body. We work together and I'm always secretly jealous of how great shirts and tops look on her, whereas I feel like I look sloppy and unprofessional with oversized, ill-fitting clothes. Sarah has this way of bringing up my boobs in conversation, starting off complimentary, but often ending with a subtle insult. She knows they're a physical feature I'm uncomfortable with, but doesn't let up. Right, not really a friend then. She knows you're uncomfortable with it, but she still brings it up and ends up subtly insulting them. Examples of things she'll say is how my boobs look good now, but give it a few years and they'll be down to my knees. Ha 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 ha. Or she'll show me comments on Reddit where people are discussing chest size preferences and most are commenting how they much prefer a smaller bust over a large. Or just a general reminder of how work or men will never take me seriously because of my cartoon boobs. I know she's trying to have light-hearted fun, but it gets to me and I've told her a few times to drop it before. This isn't, we've had posts like this before. These people are not your friends. This is an enemy. This is either a very insecure or a very angry and bitter enemy. Like not even jokes that make her uncomfortable, like actively saying things like, it's going to affect your work and relationships. Not that the former is okay, that is, but the latter is just even more evil. So now we're working from home and we will have daily video calls and meetings. Uniform is not necessary and we can wear what we like. A few days ago it was extremely hot and I was wearing a lighter, more revealing top than my usual baggy cover-ups. During this video call, in front of 6 other colleagues, Sarah starts vocalizing her thoughts on my appearance. Holy shit, put those away. You look like you're in a porno. We don't need to see that first thing in the morning. Ha 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 ha. I was mortified. Of course you're mortified. You just got sexually harassed in the workplace. This is something you need to tell HR about. And I'm surprised if your 6 other colleagues didn't do the same. Or say something and just be like, what the hell? One other colleague laughed along. He can get the bin as well. Or she. Or they. It's a gender neutral bin. But the rest looked uncomfortable. I felt close to tears, made an excuse and left the meeting. Sarah called me up half an hour later, asking me what was wrong, and I went off on her. I told her to go fuck herself and was sick of her constant jabs about my appearance. I went on a 10-minute tirade and hung up. Sarah has been off sick since that day and we haven't spoken again. I'm wondering if I was too harsh and maybe I should call and apologise for my outburst. Was I the a-hole? No! Again, you've got a grown adult who claims to be your friend bullying you and now also sexually harassing you in the workplace. You need to cut Sarah off, and so does your company. Surely no one disagrees with this, right? What do the comments say? Absolutely not the a-hole. On a work call, that's workplace sexual harassment. If it ever happens again, contact HR. Why wait for it to happen again? Contact them now. Not the a-hole. As a fellow large-busted lady, they are not in proportion to my body type and size. Comments make me uncomfortable too. She's probably making jabs because she's jealous and insecure, but that doesn't excuse her behaviour. You told her to stop and she didn't. And then she made everyone else uncomfortable with her comments as well. She didn't listen the first time, so she deserved the 10-minute lecture. If that's all she got away with, the 10-minute lecture, she got off lightly. Not the a-hole. She is obviously very self-conscious and very envious of your body, which is 100% her business, but it's not fair for her to project her feelings onto you. I mean, that could be true, but she also could just be an incredibly hateful individual, who knows? Either way, Sarah is a terrible person, a terrible friend, and a terrible colleague, whereas you are not the a-hole, which makes it 3-0 to the not the a-holes. Alright, next up, am I the a-hole for telling my best friend that I'm not happy for her? Oh, sounds evil. Let's find out why. So I dated my ex-boyfriend for a few years and we broke it off a few months before COVID. We were both madly in love and I'm still not over him. My best friend knows this. I fear I know where this is going as well. A few months ago, she started getting distant from me, and it's super unusual for me because she needs me for everything. Like, just a few things that I help her do include finding colleges, applying to colleges, helping donate money for her college fund, helping her build her resume, finding her therapy, finding her a job, and countless other things. I even paid for a lot of stuff for her, like going on trips and such. She didn't really do much for me and was somewhat of an emotional support because we'd always talk about her. But then I really didn't mind and didn't care what I did for her. She was my BFF and you love your best friends. They're sisters. So last month she broke and told me that the reason that she's been so distant is because she's been quarantining with my ex and that they're a thing. Whatever hopes I had of getting back to my ex are squashed because I don't think I can get over him hooking up with my best friend. Wow, what a dick move from the friend and the ex. I mean, I know once you're broken up, you don't actually owe your ex anything, but still, common courtesy to not date their best friend, surely. And I mean, the friend's clearly in the wrong. They definitely owe them loyalty. They knew that she still had feelings for them and still dated them. Ugh, I'm super heartbroken. And I know that you don't own people, but that doesn't mean that you can't be upset about their betrayal. Too right, and you don't need to do this whole like, I know you don't own people. There are boundaries. There are boundaries that shouldn't be broken, and they've been broken here. You have every right to be upset. Yes, dating your best friend's ex that she still loves is a betrayal. I agree. She asked me if I was happy for her. What the fuck? Because she finally got a good job and a nice boyfriend. That job she has is solely because of me, because I asked an old acquaintance to return a favor by hiring my best friend. He wanted to hire someone else, but I begged him to hire her. I know how people are sometimes hurt, but then they say, but I'm truly happy for you. But I honest to God don't think they mean it. And when I say I'm happy for someone, I want to mean it. I'm not happy for my friend. I just am not. I can't make myself be. I told her as such and told her to stop contacting me. She's now blowing up my emails and DMs because she's so hurt by what I said to her. My dad said that I should have just kept this to myself since I know my best friend is a sensitive person and is hurt. But what about me? Am I given a sensitivity pass because I've looked after my friend for so long? Do my feelings just stop mattering at some point? Damn, dad taking her side as well. Not cool. Friend massive L, ex kind of an L, and dad massive L. Oh, okay, we've got an edit. My conversation with my best friend went as followed. She called me with the news and said that she didn't know how to tell me. Didn't apologise, FYI. And then she followed it up with how she's finally doing well and doesn't have to rely on me for money since she has a nice job and a nice boyfriend. What, in like a I don't need you anymore kind of way? Or in an I'm no longer a burden to you anymore kind of way? Anyway, I told her I was not happy for her. I reminded her that I got her the job, she knew and was fine with it, and that I've done so much for her over the years, and she thanks me by backstabbing me and getting with my ex. She knew that it would hurt me, and if she'd done it when I was well over him or with my permission, I'd feel differently. Then I told her not to contact me again, because clearly I'm her friend, but she was never my friend, and I want to stick with people who are supportive towards me and reciprocate my friendship. And then I ended the call. Yeah, that's the thing as well, like, not even going after the ex with permission, just like doing it all behind her back. Like there's the loyalty that's been broken there, but there's also like the trust and the communication. This again, clearly to me, not the a-hole. And like I said, the ex, the friend and the dad, all a-holes. That's such a bummer. I don't know why, but I feel most sad the fact that her dad didn't have her back, even though she seems to care the least about that. Anyway, what do the comments say? Not the a-hole. With literally billions of us here, it's pretty easy to not date the one person your best friend has feelings for. Exactly this. The reason she dated your ex is that she's an emotional vampire. Ooh, not heard that one before. She didn't need you to do all the things for her logistically. She just needed you to give to her. Now you've given her the last thing. Move on and take this as a painful lesson. Don't give to people who don't give back. Not the a-hole. Wow, that to me is a pretty resounding fourth not the a-hole, meaning it is 4-0 to the NTAs. And that is a perfect, poignant lesson to end on. So if you enjoyed today's installment of Am I the A-hole and you can't wait to catch the next one, hit that subscribe button down below. And hopefully I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.